Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's been quite some time, I know, but by the title of this video, I've got some new updates, as you can probably tell, that I'll share about my bodybuilding journey, what I've been up to, and what is to come. But first, I gotta go get ready to go to the gym, so let's go do that. Okay, I just got off work and I changed out of my work clothes. You might not be able to tell because it's still just a plain black t-shirt, but I know I'm going to be sweating a lot today. It's really hot in Honolulu right now, so I just got to be mindful of how I'm presenting myself in the gym. Yeah, like I said, I just got off work, so I need to definitely take my pre-workout stack, which is just like caffeine and then like a pump, because I am doing lower body today. And then I also need to have my pre-workout meal, which is going to be a bagel, whipped cream cheese, and honey, which is kind of been my go-to lately. My calories are so up right now, but I'll talk more about that later after my workout. So I'm going to eat, I'm going to show you my stack, and then we're going to get to training. So my pre-workout stack right now is boba tea protein, the lychee pre-workout. One of our friends from the gym gave us this to sample because he is an ambassador with them. So he just gave us this as a gift for us to try, and I really like it, so I repurchased this myself with my own money. I'll put his code up here so that way you can support him and save some money. So I add 1 scoop of that into my little jug here, my Yeti, and then I also will add in a scoop of the Evogen stim-free pump that they have. This is the EVP. I was just curious. I've seen ads for this and the flavor looked really good for me. It's passion orange, and then with the lychee, I just thought it would be like a good mix. So I've been liking it, and I definitely can tell a difference when I'm using pump versus when I'm not using pump, like when I run out during my lower body days. So take of that what you will. I like the stack together, but I'm not really committed to either of these brands. I just like the flavors of them. And that's basically it. I'll have BCAAs after I've had BCAAs earlier already this morning. Like I'll have a little bit throughout the day. I also tell my nutrition clients to kind of sip on BCAAs throughout the day if you're kind of new to tracking, or if you're in a deficit at any rate. So I have that, not right now, but I will have it post-workout. So that's kind of what's going on here. I'm warming up my bagel already, so I'm going to probably eat, and then we'll just head into the gym. I'll typically eat first, and then I'll start sipping on my pre-workouts. So I'm going to wrap this up, and then we're going to go start warming up for the gym. tell, I'm back home. I just showered. I finished eating my post-workout meal. I'm still gonna have a sweet treat. I'm very serious about my sweet treats. And I'm also going to probably have an apple and a protein bar just as like my nightcap. I just have some extra macros that I need to meet for tonight, so that's why I gotta do that. I do have my sweet treat nightly though. I'm very serious about that. But I wanted to address some questions, some frequently asked questions that I get from people who DM me, from people who see me in person at the gym, friends, some family, but mostly just friends or gym friends, about my bodybuilding journey. So let me just pull them up. I kind of wrote them down because, and it's only like 3 to 4 questions, but it's something that I get often, so might as well just share it with the YouTube family. So the first question, are you doing a show and when are you doing a show? Okay, so this is a funny story and it's not going to be that long, but I am going to be doing a bodybuilding show and I'm aiming to do a bodybuilding show in September. So as of today, we're in the month of April. The show in September hasn't been announced yet, and I heard it's going to be announced once this April show is completed. So I'll have a better idea of like the date that I'll do it soon, hopefully. But I went into bodybuilding knowing that I wanted to compete because if I didn't have an end goal in mind, I knew that it would be easy for me to just not be, you know, serious about the work that I want to do. And it's funny because I don't really identify myself as a serious person, but like once I commit to something, obviously I want to do well. So I'm hoping that, you know, this journey goes really well for me. I've been liking it so far. So yeah, I am doing a show and hopefully in September I'll know more once they announce it. Which leads me to my next question. How would you compare bodybuilding to powerlifting and do you like it? Okay, so I have a background in powerlifting. My boyfriend owns Ukyo Hawaii, which he comes from a powerlifting background. We met through powerlifting, and so bodybuilding was something that it's kind of a recent spark and interest of mine. Of course, with powerlifting, you'll do accessories and you'll do machines, you'll kind of do hypertrophy work like you would for bodybuilding, but it's just a different program. It's a little bit hard to compare, and I always tell people this because when it comes to powerlifting, you know, the whole name of the sport is how can you lift the most while doing the least, so that way you can do that heavy weight again and again and again until you get to this point where you're doing singles or you're doing a competition where you're doing the heaviest weight that you can do. With bodybuilding, it's such a different kind of frame of thinking because more is more. You know, you want to do more weight for more reps until you go to failure. But with powerlifting, it's kind of like, let's try to avoid failing because you want to push yourself, but not to the point where you won't be able to do it again next week, if that makes sense. So it's very different in that way. Similar things that I would say is, you know, they're both obligations. Doing powerlifting meet, I'm really early in my bodybuilding journey, but I would assume it's the same. Even with just life things in general, like signing up for something and committing to something long term, especially if you're nowhere near that set goal, and like committing to doing something every single day until you get to that set goal 3, 4, 5, 6 a year out, it's really hard because it's just the obligation, right? Like we all have 24 hours in a day. A lot of people are full-time students or full-time workers. They have a life outside of the gym. You know, it's hard to kind of balance those things, but I personally have been enjoying it so far. It's easy for me to say that right now because my macros are high, my calories are high, I'm feeling good, training does feel good. And the truth is, as sometimes of an obligation as it feels, you know, having a routine honestly does help me, and so it kind of allows me to stick to my routine, stick to my meals, be really regimented with like work, with my training, and the thing that I'm really lucky for is a lot of my closest friends also go to the gym, so it's just something that kind of works out for me. So I'm really liking it so far, and the comparison between the two, there's a lot of similarities, there's a lot of differences, but until I kind of get through this prep or get through my bodybuilding competition, maybe I'll have a different perspective then. So, okay. So that was kind of a 2-for-1-er. The last one is, what does your diet look like and what can't you eat? Okay, so it's funny, and I feel flattered by the question, but a lot of people in the gym, so I started like my bodybuilding journey in, I want to say around November, and it's now, what, April? So, you know, there's a lot of physique changes that I've seen and a lot of people in the gym have noticed, and so a lot of it does have to do with the training, a lot of it does have to do with the eating as well. I get the comment like I'm looking a lot leaner these days, which is flattering, but it's just not the case, or maybe it is the case. But my body weight is up, so I'm a lot heavier than I was previously, and I'm eating way more than I was previously as well. So the truth is, I'm not on a meal plan, I'm on a macro plan, so it's kind of like whatever fits in my macros I can eat. A lot of things that I am eating is a lot of carbs. So bread, rice is kind of like my go-to right now. Protein sources usually are like ground beef or chicken, protein powder as well, bars. And then for my fats, I'm allergic to peanut butter and nuts. So I'm not really kind of going for the nut butters, although I can have almonds to an extent, so if you see me eating almond butter, don't be alarmed. But a lot of my fat sources are kind of coming from guacamole, avocados, or like butter, Kerrygold butter, like a good high quality butter. Yeah, so that's kind of what my diet is looking like right now. I'll still have like fish too, like poke. Ahi is a pretty lean meat, so I'll have poke here and there. I'll go to sushi every now and again because I will kind of be crazy and, you know, bring my little scale so I can guesstimate and track my macros when I'm out eating sushi, or we'll do sushi at home. So there's a lot of things that I am eating. There's not a lot of restrictions. There's actually no restrictions at all. My coach is really neat in the way that he wants this to be sustainable for a lot of women. His name is Paul Rebelia, Team Pro Physique. He's my coach, and he's really, really knowledgeable, been in the game for a very long time, and what drew me to him is the fact that he is really, he's really grounded in his approach, and a lot of the outcomes that I've seen on his page and stories from his girls, and he has a podcast with the team, so he is really open about talking about what his approach is when it comes to prep, and I'm liking what I'm hearing. So there's no restrictions as far as what I can't eat, but whatever fits in my macros, I'm gonna do that. And so a lot of the times if you're my friend, you'll know, I try not to go out to eat very often just because you don't know what is going to be in the meals that you're ordering at restaurants most of the time. Even if they have a really good nutrition label or whatever it is, it's just kind of hard to trust that. And I've worked in food service industry to an extent before, so I kind of know how it can go when things are hectic in the kitchen, but that's kind of the long and short of it. Those are the main questions that I've had since starting my bodybuilding journey. If you have any more questions, let me know. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.